Fish Stix, a children's game by Peaceable Kingdom. Now, this is the first game that I play published by this publisher that is not cooperative. This is a competitive game. Maybe it's from their partner company, Conflictual Kingdom. Fish Stix is an incredibly simple game. It has to be one of the simplest games that I've ever learned since tic-tac-toe, at least in terms of the number of rules and how they work. The box says that the game can be played 6 years of age and older. My daughter Luisa, who isn't even 4, can play it. It's pretty super simple because it doesn't require any reading, and it's just incredibly intuitive. Now, of course, to play it strategically, it may take a little longer, but even younger children, definitely younger than 6, can still enjoy it. And my daughter Amelia, who is almost 5, plays it, enjoys it, and also can play it with some strategy tossed in, thrown in. Maybe also a game for adults as a casual entertainment. We'll see. As I said, super simple game. How does it work? Well, you take these fish sticks. These are the main elements of the game. Each player has a hand of fish sticks in their hand. There will be a fish stick on the table at the beginning of the game. All that you do is you look at your hand of fish sticks and you put one by a fish stick that is already on the board, that is already on the table. As simple as that. Simply, when you put one, it has to touch somehow some of the fish sticks that way they're already, and that can be done, as you can see, in several different ways. How does it work? Why are you putting down these nice fish? Because you want to score them. When you add fish sticks to the table, you score points for each line of fish that is swimming in the same direction that you started or that you increased, that you elongated. For example, by putting my fish stick here, I have created a line of 2 fishes in this direction, and I have elongated this line of 3, making it into a line of 4. Each player will have a score sheet from this pad here, and you simply mark with an X or whatever other mark the points that you scored. You score points for each fish in the line that you created or that you extended, and you score a point in the corresponding category. It is a corresponding fish. In this case, I'm gonna draw 4 marks in this line here and 2 marks in this line here because of this. You play a fish sticks, you receive another fish sticks, then the game goes to the next opponent, and you repeat like this until one of the players has filled up all of their pad. And the first player to get 10 points in all categories, or 10 fish in all category, wins the game. Incredibly super simple. Component wise, very nice. These fish sticks are sturdy, they are coated with some sort of plastic or whatever it is that definitely is protecting them, which is very good when you're playing a game with kids. It is good to have components that are durable and that would survive a lot of love that they can receive from children, and maybe even some spill of fruit juice. In terms of gameplay, it is very simple, and yes, a kid of 3, a 3-year-old can simply see the connection and add 1. Older kids maybe do not just see the pattern that is available right there, but they can plan ahead a little bit. I talked to my daughter Amelia, and we talked about the strategies, and she started seeing that, and she was usually able to plan at least one fish sticks ahead, the one that she had, and she was really thinking about what to do with the next one. The little kids like it because they see the obvious strategies. Heck, there are like 4 fish of that kind there. Why don't I put 5? It's easier. And then the next kid goes there and does 1. So when lines start forming, when schools of fish start forming, of course, it's tempting to just add to them. And so kids can do that, can play that way. Of course, as an adult, you're going to be a little mean. So as soon as you can, you're going to try to stop the long lines, or not necessarily just at any time when it's convenient to you. If, for example, I have scored this fish and I filled up my row, then I don't need that to be open. So maybe the kid next time add the fish, and then when it's the next time for me to move, I'm gonna try to stop it. So there is some little bit of timing there. You exploit extending, developing schools of fish for as long as it's convenient to you, and then you try to stop them, to block them. If you manage to create multiple connections with a single play, of course, that's better. If you manage to plan ahead, that's even better. So in certain sense, a game that is scalable in terms of complexity. A 3-year-old plays it and sees something, and still playing the real game, not a simplified version. The 5-year-old sees something more, and an adult sees more strategy. So it's a game that really kids like because they can understand it easily, they do not have to learn all the rules, and the gameplay seems intuitive. For young kids, it is super intuitive. For slightly older kids, they get to pun a little bit, and they enjoy that. Nevertheless, my daughters liked it. My daughters really enjoyed this game, but we still had to play a full game. That is, we still had to play a game where the winner is really and actually the person that completes all of these rows. Mothers like it, they get excited, we play, we complete a couple of rows, and then they get tired. That is not a fast game. And my daughters, being so young, it is not like they made the game last long because they overthink stuff. It's not a matter of analysis paralysis. It just takes a while, and my daughters don't seem to have all that much patience because, and maybe it's my daughters, I don't know, because in a sense the I would say the problem, but the limitation or something that gives the design a specific flavor is the fact that it doesn't feel like it has a climatic finish, a climatic progression. Recently we played Donkey Kong, the board game, and that is fun because you can see that you're getting close to the girl that you're trying to save from the ginormous evil ape. In reality, just misunderstood ape, but that's beside the point. Here, it just feels like you're doing the same action over and over again, which is the fish count, the fish count. A little bit of story, a little bit of narrative really does not hurt in getting kids interested in playing games. So, what happens is that we play for a while. When my daughters start feeling a little tired, we simply count and see who has completed the most rows, and we see who wins. That is, if you find that the problem with your children is also the length of the game, then you simply can give victory to the first player that completes, say, 5 rows of fish on their scoring sheet, or 4. You can simply shorten the game in a variety of pretty simple ways. So I like it. My daughters like it. It's not their favorite game. Again, to me, just probably because of the story that is lacking. My daughters, maybe it's my influence, but they really seem to like games that have a theme, that they can create an emotional connection with the characters, and not just with the abstract mechanics. This is obviously a very abstract game in general, but they enjoy it. They enjoy it for, say, half, 3/4 of the game. When I say this, sounds like a backhanded compliment, maybe like a disguised insult, but no, for the time that we played, we enjoy it. It's just that as designed, as the victory conditions are designed, a little too long for the young players I played with. Is this a game that could work with adults? I don't know. I haven't played the way. I don't feel any particular desire to do so, because I feel that if adults take this game seriously, then you have real actual analysis paralysis, and then the game probably becomes unbearable. And so it may have that problem of being too light for adults, and at the same time to create analysis paralysis, which is really annoying when associated with complex but intellectually rewarding games. And I think would be absolutely unbearable and unforgivable if analysis paralysis occurs when you're trying to line up fish. It can be interesting and fun for adults to create some sort of sequential strategy, think ahead, create combinations of fish for yourself, but then also that only goes that far, because the opponents if you had two opponents before the game goes back to you, many things may have happened in such ways that will make it impossible for you to complete a strategy that you have planned, and then you had to start thinking about a new strategy from scratch, and as a result, again, analysis paralysis ensuing. So Stix, a fairly pleasant game for my daughters. They enjoy it. Again, don't take the thing that we don't get to play the game until the end as a necessarily negative comment. With adults, it would be. With kids, it's kids. Kids, the way it is a game that is for them. They decide if they enjoy it. That's all that matters, and they enjoy it. Maybe as they get older, then they will also get to see more strategy and find it more rewarding for the sort of like grace period before they outgrow it, and before then seeing strategy may turn into analysis paralysis. It's a good game, not a great game, but definitely an enjoyable game that my daughters have enjoyed playing, but not a game that I think also doubles well as a game for adults.